Aloha, I'm Brickwood Galuteria. Welcome to Kupuna Power, a show for and about seniors. As always, we display the Senior Helpline phone number, 768-7700. Fall prevention may not seem like a lively topic, but it's important. Falls put you at risk of serious injury. As you get older, physical changes and health conditions, and sometimes the medications used to treat those conditions, make falls more likely. In fact, falls are a leading cause of injury among older adults. Each year, 1 in every 3 adults ages 65 or older falls, and 2 million end up in emergency rooms. And the risk of falling increases with each decade of life. Still, fear of falling doesn't need to rule your life. Joining us today, Stan Michaels, a public health educator with the Department of Health. He assisted the Executive Office on Aging statewide task force on fall prevention and is actively working with the steering committee to implement the Hawaii Fall Prevention State Plan. Also joining us here today is Tai Chi Master Elena Ferrier, Master Trainer in Tai Chi for Health and certified instructor in many programs, including Tai Chi for Energy, Tai Chi for Arthritis, Diabetes, Tai Chi for Kids, Tai Chi at Work, and for our show today, Tai Chi for Fall Prevention, a well-designed, safe Tai Chi program that focuses on fall prevention, range of motion, breath work, and relaxation specific to the audience. It's Kupuna Power. We got the power, and we got 2 people with a lot of Kupuna power today. As I mentioned earlier, Stan Michaels, he's a dear friend of mine. He's the fall guy, okay? As we all are at times.
You betcha.
But welcome to Kupuna Power.
Thank you, Senator.
And Elena Ferrier, who is a Tai Chi master, and we're going to talk about some of the movements that's going to make it a lot easier for us to balance and stay secure, and stay, in tune, become one with. And so welcome to Kupuna Power. Happy to have you folks here.
Thank you very much.
Really. Let's start with you, Stan. Now, you've been involved with fall prevention for a long time now.
Long time.
Why don't we just start from the beginning? Why did you feel it necessary to move into this area?
Took a header myself, one of the reasons.
Oh.
But the main reason is I went to work with the Department of Health, and I discovered enormous numbers, literally thousands of our seniors fall in yearly. The impact on them, their families, their loved ones, and the impact on the healthcare system. Serious.
But does it? We don't think about the effects down the line of falling. So give us an example of why it would affect the complete community.
Well, the worst is we in Hawaii have so many grandparents caring for grandchildren. If the grandparent is caring for a grandchild and they fall, injure themselves and get taken out of the loop, all of a sudden the microcosm of that family can be destroyed because the kupuna is no longer there to care for the family. Somebody has to stay home to not only care for the child, but also to care for whoever fell. So that trickles down. You do 8,700 a year. That's every hour, on the hour, 24 hours a day. A senior is transported by an ambulance to an ER because of a fall injury. That's not only huge impact on their emotions and their basic well-being, but the impact on our medical system. Whoa, that's a lot of time in the ER, and the dollars are enormous.
Okay, so if we dial back to the kupuna themselves, what are we talking about? We're talking about brain trauma, we're talking about bruises.
You betcha. Broken hip, TBI, called it's a traumatic brain injury. Those are the 2 biggies that have the largest impact. All the bruises that you see, because as we age, we get thin skin and we're not quite as strong. So the impact, children fall almost as often. My office does the statistics for the state. Children 0 to 14 fall almost as often as seniors. But the difference, they bounce.
Yeah.
They get up, they're ready to go.
Sure.
But senior, the age and the maturity has made their muscles a little bit less resilient, so the damage is pretty severe.
Well, from a personal perspective, I see my mom sometimes with bruises, right? And so, what's that from? Says, well, she lost her balance and she bumped up against the wall. Now, she didn't fall, But even that, bumping up against the wall, losing your balance is, I think, something that we all got to think about. So, where do we call for information? From you or from wherever? What's your
This is a magic number, 733 9202.
You had a senior moment just then, huh?
733-9202. Had the moment.
Okay, got it.
And that'll get you a hotline to information, resources, and our website of the state, nogethurt.hawaii. nogethurt.hawaii.gov.
Okay.
And that tremendous resources.
You know, Stan, I can't tell you how important you are. Because at this point, I didn't realize anything about fall prevention, how important it is. You brought a guest today.
I did.
Now, Elena is a Tai Chi master. You're a Tai Chi master, right? And you've developed certain things that can prevent falls? Is that how it works?
Oh, the form that I use for the state for fall prevention is a research evidence-based program that's been recommended by the Center for Disease Control. And the form that it uses is called the Sun Style, and it is specifically conducive to preventing falls. So this form was created by Dr. Lam, the creator of our institute, as well as his team of medical doctors, professionals, and Tai Chi professionals as well. So it took a bit of time to put the program together because they wanted to create something that was going to be very easy for our seniors to learn and yet deliver great benefits for fall prevention and general sense of well-being.
Well, you do all kinds of Tai Chi, Tai Chi for energy, Tai Chi for arthritis, Tai Chi for diabetes.
Yes.
What's Tai Chi for fall prevention?
Tai Chi for fall prevention, well, using the Sun Style, why it is characteristically different from its other brothers, the Chen, the Yang, Wu, is that it's a higher stance, so therefore it's easier on your joints, which is why the Arthritis Foundation has been endorsing and working with us because it's a higher stance. We use Qigong or breathing exercises so that the mind can get engaged and connect that internal power with the physical. So when the mind is quiet, the body wants to come back to center. They can think better. So going through the slow movements helps. And then there's a very special aspect of the Sun Style, is that when you take a step, another step follows. So there's never weight on both feet, which causes falls.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
That's it in a nutshell anyway.
Oh, can we try some? I mean, you're an advocate of this because,
am.
you know, obviously a person in your position can advocate for many different things, but if Tai Chi is one of them, I want to learn.
It's the number one. CDC determined it's evidence-based, and it's the number one intervention in the world for fall prevention and to improve your balance.
Really?
No question about it.
Okay, then we've come to the source.
The pro from Dover.
The pro from Dover. Hey, by the way, where are you from?
I'm originally from Waipahu.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Waipahu Tai Chi, I heard, is really top level stuff.
It is.
Okay, what do we do first? How do we have to stand up, or can we do this on the chair?
What's nice and why the state really loves it is that Tai Chi should be for everyone. So often we see them in a park, but how many do you see seated or in a wheelchair? So yes, we can do it seated.
Okay.
We have to push back just a little bit on our chairs.
Okay, got it. This okay, back here?
Yeah.
And then sit up on the chair?
Sit up on the chair.
Okay.
Now, under normal circumstances, our feet would be able to touch the floor, but because we're up high, just have your feet supported on that footrest.
Oh, I got to put it on the footrest. Is this okay? I'm got it on the floor?
Oh, you're pretty tall. You're fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at this guy.
Okay.
So then my first job with you is to try to get your mind to be still for a minute and just focus on your breath. I want you to think as if there's a golden thread pulling your head up to the ceiling, your chin is tucked back, and your hands are on your laps.
This is Kupuna power. A silver thread be okay?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
So you just take a nice big breath and let go. Our breath is coming from our belly, and I want you to bring your hands together. Elbows are down, palms are facing each other, and our fingers are soft. So as we inhale, I'd like you to imagine a magnetic force that you're pulling apart as you inhale.
Okay.
Exhale, feel a gentle resistance between your palms. And once more. This often helps to really reduce the blood pressure when you think of this magnetic energy, or it's like a soap bubble between your hands.
This helps me balance. This brings everything into
This is
One
going to
full.
get your mind to be still
Okay.
as we think about the exercise. And then you're sitting, your posture is upright, your hands are on your lap. I'm going to give you we'll go through the form. It takes about a minute.
Okay.
So our shoulders are down, and I just want you to look forward. Hands are at your side, and nice long inhale, and your arms are very relaxed as you imagine your wrists floating towards the heavens, fingers towards the sky, and pull your elbows down towards your waist. Inhale up. Slowly exhale and like passing the ball forward. Sink your elbows down, and once again feel the gentle resistance between your palms. Inhale, and slowly let go. I'll put my hands down here because I'm going to choose to have you take, that was 2 of the 6 forms, movements that make up the entire movement.
Okay.
But what's really important for the Tai Chi is that when your mind is quiet at the beginning and settled, wonderful things begin to happen, not only for our Kupuna, but for the public in general. Relaxation is a marvelous tool once you can get that to that place. And I call it, when you find it and give yourself permission to discover it, which can happen very, very quickly, when you put your mind to accepting to find this place. And it's like coming home to a friend.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
We're going to be wrapping up shortly. But where can we find you? And obviously we know where we can find you. But can we find her through your office?
She can very much, and her headquarters are at YMCA in Waipahu,
Okay.
the Leeward Y.
Oh, you went home.
I did.
Wow.
I decided to come back home and give back to Hawaii because she gave lots to me.
Well, we appreciate you coming and giving back to Kupuna Power. Listen, we're talking about fall prevention, which is so very, very important. We'll be providing you with a public service announcement a little bit later on in the show. You can see what's going to be going on in the other channels. And certainly we want to make it very, very positive for you to learn more about how you can prevent falls. That's so important for our Kupuna. So to Elena, thank you so much. Mahalo, plenty. And to Stan, I'll see you along the way.
You will.
Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Mahalo, everybody. This is Kupuna Power.
This fall didn't have to happen. Here are 4 tips. Some medications cause dizziness, which can lead to falls. Simply make an appointment with your doctor or pharmacist today to review your medications, including any over-the-counter drugs and supplements. Maintaining good vision helps with balance and safety. Have your eyes checked at least once a year. We have to keep moving because balance and strength are essential to preventing falls. Walk or play in the garden, or exercise with friends, and swim, and start a program like Tai Chi, as it is proven to be the best for fall prevention and balance. Remove fall hazards. Make your home safer by keeping pathways clear and the floor free of objects. Call the Department of Health at 733-9202.
Up next, we get an update on the work of the Age-Friendly City Citizens Advisory Committee. But first, who was Hal Lewis, and what was his place in Hawaii history?
Citizens Advisory Committee for the Age-Friendly City endeavor is essentially the heart and soul of the effort. It represents roughly 100 folks from different geographic areas around the island, as well as people who are involved with things related to the aging process or caregivers. So it's really a broad segment of our community. Where we are today is following the first meeting we had several months ago. They've broken up into 6 different working groups looking at things like wellness and health care, transportation, outdoor spaces, and they have considered where do we stand with regard to these types of facilities and services in Honolulu? Are they adequate to the expected, load, if you will, of the population growth of people who are elderly? Are they adequate now? As an example, the pedestrian safety for older folks in Honolulu is the worst in the country. So we can look right now and say, well, certainly from a transportation and outdoor spaces point of view, pedestrian safety for older folks is woefully in need of attention. Now, whether this gets to speed limits enforcement or driver education or a number of the things we're already working on, clearly it does. The effect on the aging is exacerbated because folks don't move as fast, for a whole number of reasons. So that's basically what the day was about, was to finish up on problem identification of these various issues, and then to begin moving on into the question of what are the solutions.
But we also wanted to start off today by focusing on the big picture, and in a few minutes I'm going to have John Goody come up and talk to you about the big picture of where we're going. And the reason it's important for us is that when we started this as a steering committee, it took us quite a bit of time to figure out what this was really all about. And based on some of the feedback that we've received from some of you, we understand that there are people that are participating in this process that maybe don't completely understand where we're going and what we're doing. So we wanted to do sort of a big picture presentation at the very beginning. I'll tell you that the mayor and I went to Chicago last October, and going to that convention in Chicago really helped us because there was a presentation by a gentleman named Gil Penalosa. And Gil Penalosa has a similar program in Canada that's called 880 Cities, and it means 8 to 80, from 8-year-olds to 80-year-olds. If you build your cities for that age group, then everybody gets taken care of. And he has a famous statement, and it's sort of funny, but I think it meant a lot to the mayor and I. He says, we have to stop building our cities as if everyone is a 30-year-old athletic male. And it's very true. We really do. We have to look from Keiki to Kupuna, and that's our motto here at Age-Friendly Cities.
I was asked to give a short overview, kind of where we are and where we're heading. The goal of the AFC process, well, it's basically to develop and implement an action plan for Honolulu leading to membership in the World Health Organization's network of age-friendly cities. The core idea of this concept is to encourage and facilitate active aging on Oahu. The planning process itself, we're using the processes as substantially outlined by the World Health Organization. They developed this way of approaching the problem by studying cities from Vancouver to Singapore, New York City to Portland, Oregon. And so they have a substantial background in evaluating the effects of aging. The first step, of course, is the one you've already been working on, evaluating the quality of life components. These are the domains that are needed for Honolulu to become an age-friendly city, and to identify the deficiencies or gaps in those domains where improvements are needed to bring us up to speed. The second part of the endeavor is one we will be starting with the breakout session today, which is to identify the potential types of actions that might be taken to close these gaps and to bring us up to speed with regard to the domains to support the increased age population. The final step will be to put these problems and solutions into an action plan, prioritized so that we can submit this to the World Health Organization, who will evaluate it and partner with us to implement the program so that Honolulu will become an age-friendly city. So, implementation, that's actually the heart of what we need to do. The plan is just a roadmap on how to get there. The action plan should be completed roughly May of 2015, so a little less than a year from now. The World Health Organization will become our partner in providing technical support and guidance and moral support for that matter, along with other age-friendly cities. Now, some of these actions that we develop that we'll begin discussing today are going to be procedural. They simply won't require additional outlays of money. It's simply how we look at things in our different agencies of government as we approach problems that come before us. Some of these are going to be voluntary changes by non-governmental organizations such as retail shops and other places in how they approach their business as usual with respect to the aging population that may be not as mobile. And then some of these actions will involve governmental activities that will require a budget sustained over time that we will need to compete with other demands of government to get the needs recognized. So for this reason, we need to prioritize our problem areas both by virtue of the breadth across which the problem is felt and the severity of the impact. So we will understand what our worst problems are, and we need to do the same for the solutions that we'll begin to develop today. We need to give careful thought to both the feasibility and the efficacy of the potential solutions that we come up with. It is very important that this plan reflect a wise commitment of our resources to do the best job we can, to get the most improvement that we can out of the resources that we have to commit. Let's be sure not to lose the forest for the trees. Basically, we're looking for a roadmap leading to active aging, continuing wellness, and a higher quality of life, not to site-specific solutions. We also know that if you build it, they will come. If we build walkways, we build parks, we build bikeways, we build sidewalks that are safe, secure, that are appealing, people will use them. There is no doubt about that. If people use those, then they will in turn become more fit, they will want to do more, and they will demand of government that they have more of these venues. Health services. If you hurt yourself, you cannot get around. So you need health services to kind of keep you healthy so you can continue walking. On the other hand, if you don't have transportation services to get you to the hospital, to get you to the clinic, then you're stuck also. You can see, hopefully from this kind of crazy graphic, that there is a virtuous spiral here, a virtuous reinforcing. If people are healthy, they want to get out, they will demand facilities and programs that will enable them to continue doing so. That will enable government to have the political will to continue to do these things that are helpful. Consider the interrelationships in the broader aspects of what we're doing. Lastly, generational equity. Among the most important relationships that we are dealing with is that among the generations. We enter old age as we are. And if we are physically or mentally or emotionally or economically, for that matter, challenged as a younger person, that comes right with us as we age. So when we build an age-friendly city, we are building a city that's age-friendly across the generations. We're building a city so that when you arrive at an older age, we arrive there as we are, and so when we build an age-friendly city, we are building it so that from the earliest age through mature years and into older age, it's suitable and a livable city for everyone.
Who was Hal Lewis? And what was his place in Hawaii history? Hal Lewis was the real name of J. Akuhead Pupule, who ruled Hawaii radio from 1965 until his death in 1983, and was reported to have become the world's highest paid DJ. And there you have it, another episode of education, entertainment, and aloha. Mahalo to Stan Michaels and Tai Chi Master Elena Ferrier for their time and timely tips on fall prevention. I'm Brickwood Galutaria. Join me next week for another episode of Kupuna Power. Aloha.